Hello, everybody. Hope we don't get in trouble for that. It's the Make It Date Action Podcast. We're back.
We're back.
I'm so excited for this week's episode. Before we get into that, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Paul. Action Jackson's here once again. Paul.
Hello. Hey, I'm here once again. Hello, everyone.
PM's in the back room. He's behind the glass, tapping on it, waving right now.
Yes, and we are going to get DMCA'd, so great.
No, we're not.
That is going to shut down the show for that 4-second clip.
No, it's not, because you know what? The internet. That was for you guys. I'm gonna put royalty free. I got a royalty free track too, but I just wanted it to be for you.
If after the 100th episode we're like DMCA strike, done.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there is a length of time, but yeah, it's probably gonna get really, really DMCA'd. Maybe I'll just throw a crap ton of reverb on it and post, and then then it's changed.
Yeah, there you go.
Then it's changed. That's what I do with baseball clips. Just reverb the crap out of them, and then I don't get struck yet. There you go. Until they find them, and then if I get 50,000 more subs or something, they're gonna definitely strike me. Anyway, welcome to the show. We are all here again on this beautiful, really dark Wednesday morning for some reason, and we got a treat. We got a treat for me anyway. It was my movie this week, and
it was.
I don't know if you noticed in the outline, but I came up with a name.
I did. I saw it. I have mixed emotions, but I do see it.
Well, it's really stupid, but also really fits. And I've never heard it. So this week's Pick a Flick. I love it. It's like a little bingo thing where they're picking out a movie. I'm thinking about the graphics I can make for this. No, we're not doing that. We don't. Well, we've gone 13 episodes with no name. So
yeah, that's true. Pick a Flick ain't bad.
It ain't the best. Let's start with that. Okay, it could be a placeholder. It might stick, but we got to call it something. This week's Pick a Flick.
If we're known for anything on this podcast, it's making decisions and sticking with them. I mean,
being really consistent. We're the three most consistent people I think. Kids, if you're learning consistency from us, don't. Just don't. We have for the Pick a Flick this week. One of my, a part of my favorite trilogy of all time. It's not the favorite movie, but it is the intro. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring is our movie, and I know Paul loves it too.
I'm so sorry. I had to interrupt. Ezra would really like a hug before nap time. Give him
a podcast hug. We're all hugging Ez. Come on, Ez, come in here. What a cute kid. If you guys could see him, I can't see him either, but trust me, that's a cute kid.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Good night, Ezra. Morning, Ezra. Whatever time it is over there in the East Coast. It's 11. It's the middle of the day. It's late morning. We watched the movie. I watched the extended version because that's the only thing I can do. Just really quick.
I wanted to, dude. Yeah.
It's just you know it.
I own them. I actually own them.
So do I. I bought a DVD player. To watch these.
Really? I bought them on digital, which I felt like they had them on like discount like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, frick yeah. So I bought all 3 extended director's cut.
Yeah, you got to. Well, I'm terrified of the digital thing because they're like HBO Max just removed Watchmen, which they made.
Oh my god!
So is anything safe? Is all I'm saying. It's like won awards and they made it, and it's not on Max.
Not good enough.
So you just can't watch it. It's impossible because there is no physical copy of that. Anyway,
there isn't.
Well, that you can buy? No, I don't think the Watchmen is on. They haven't made, dude. They've stopped. The shows made in the last like 4 or 5 years just stopped doing that. You have to like order them custom. Like even Best Buy's like, we're not going to carry DVDs anymore.
Dang, I actually didn't realize that.
It's dead. What I'm very excited to get into this movie. I watch these movies every year, all 3 of them.
Love it.
Kate and I think we're gonna watch the my favorite and her favorite. I think it's her favorite because it's my favorite. But the 2 Towers tonight, and then we're gonna watch the other one this weekend. So I was just like, maybe we should just get it because I was just marveling over some of the performances, some of the CGI. A couple of the CGI parts were just phenomenal. Some are like, okay, that's really bad. There was a couple that were really bad, just like cuts. I was like, they couldn't get anything here, could they? So I can't wait to get into it. But we got a check in first.
We'll check in.
And Paul and PM, by the way, PM's here. He's in the back there, and he also hates Lord of the Rings. So this is going to be he's going to be our villain. He hates it.
Yeah, I was gonna come in and be the devil's advocate here, but you spoiled it there.
Well, now I ruined it, and now
I do not like this movie.
I'm kind of regretting, but at the same time, now people are like, "Oh, what's going to happen here in the next 50 minutes?" So you know, who knows? That's a good tactic.
Intrigued.
So what's up, guys? What do we? What I mean, Paul first. PM, you may.
Oh yeah, no, of course. What's up this week? This week I'm just diving even deeper, man. I'm trying to get into AI models.
Woo!
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm trying to mainly around. I don't know. I think I'm rabbit holing it. I'll be honest.
It's fine.
I think I've passed the point of like gonna help my business into like. Then now you're just doing it because you're into it, which is
you like it, yeah.
Which is fine, yeah. But I've been passing. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it for work, and it's like, kind of doing it for me. And it's interesting. So, okay, what I found is that all right.
Hear that voice change? Hold on.
Okay, all right.
That conspiratorial voice was amazing. Okay, continue. Sorry.
So big AI is just trying to get us to no. So there's DALL-E, right? DALL-E.
Yeah.
DALL-E 4 just came out. It was really, really big. DALL-E 4 came out. You know, you can do text and images, all that kind of stuff.
Image generation. DALL-E's the
Titan. Yeah, these are the big ones. So DALL-E 4, Midjourney 6 just came out.
These are the most and then you have conversations ever. I love this. This is fantastic. Keep going.
Okay, all right. Look, this guy over here in his frickin' ivory tower of AI.
Well, he's like, all right, he's like working in the back. He's in the back room of that place, just
Saruman,
just knocking around with a wrench.
Exactly. So, all right. So I got DALL-E 4, I got Midjourney 6, and then you got Stable Diffusion XL, which I haven't fully dove into yet personally, but I've watched a lot of videos and all that kind of stuff. All image generation. It, to me, at least from my style, Midjourney 6 actually I think does the best job of image generation.
I also agree with that.
However, for what I need it, my actual purposes for it are for thumbnails, for YouTube videos, and because I am like the point of the channel, right? Like I am the personality behind the channel.
Yeah.
My face kind of needs to be on it. At least I would like it to be.
Yeah.
So consistent characters, very difficult to do. And every time I give my photo to like Midjourney or even InSwapper, which is an app that like you just like plasters your face over the top of like a Midjourney photo or any photo, I look like I don't even know, like the lightest skinned South Indian man you've ever seen. it doesn't make any sense. I like nothing like this. So I'm really getting into consistent faces. The best I found for like good quality images, interesting kind of Midjourney 6-esque photos or images, is a website called imagineme.ai. Like no one is talking about this website, maybe because I'm dumb, but it's the only one I've found that nails my face, like absolutely nails it, and puts me in any circumstance I want. I've made myself.
You say?
Oh, not any circumstance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
there's rules.
Yeah. It's not like I'm like in an orgy, but like so, like I'm like a soldier, and then I'm like a tiny little figurine for like D&D, and it looks just like me. So anyway, that's what I've been getting into. That's my week. It's been really deep diving into AI image generation, and I just haven't found consistent. It also nails my body, by the way. It nails my body type. It like knows how broad my shoulders are and my arms. I put my face into like Stable Diffusion. I'm like the skinniest guy you've ever seen with my face. So anyway, that's why I thought. Also, DALL-E 4 is heavily racist. Just so you know,
that's what I've heard.
Feels like
that's what I've heard. That's on the line. I think. It's on the line.
It understands zero nuance of white and black people.
But the one cool thing, if you do have GPT Pro or Plus or
I do. Yeah.
Or advanced or whatever the hell it's called. That have you built your own DALL-E generator, which you can just keep tailoring
No.
You just keep tailoring the instructions as like it gets spits out, and you just keep testing it, and then it's literally like it saves all those settings. So it's like it's custom instructions, just a bunch of different profiles. And there's also like a whole community store now that's like some of them are people are going to charge for them, but you can make as many. I have 6 of them or something, 7 of them doing like once
of your own GPTs.
Yeah, like GPT that's literally just for doing research for these movies and formatting it right.
Huh.
I have one that like I just type in the name of the movie and it knows what to tell me, what to give me, and then I just like go from there.
Whoa.
And expand on things and build it. Oh yeah. So it makes it faster and faster. And so if you're doing repetitive tasks, which you're doing, and you're trying to get something to spit out, you might be able to. I don't know how like Dolly might just get to a point where it's just not going to get more detailed for you, because I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but it is like it's powerful. If you can get your prompt that's like really nuanced down to a T, you'll get the same looking guy every single time. So that's a good way to like make it so you're getting consistency anyways. That might be an option. So I would look into that. That's cool. There's probably tons of videos on it.
Okay. All right. It's also not helpful because I'm like literally I'm brown and like it just doesn't know how to make brown people. It is like no idea.
Classic.
So it's just very difficult.
Classic. Was it a white man who made it? Probably. Typical.
Oh my gosh. If every time I ask for like a guy with like make the skin complexion darker, it just gives the white guy a tan.
Like, yeah, so he's at the beach now. You're like, what the?
Yeah. It's slightly tanned.
What?
What?
Sorry, I was continuing my outrage from the previous sentence. Continue.
PM, it seems like you wanted to lord some information over me. Are you available to do that, or?
Yes. I think it's adorable that you guys are dealing with these really punitive AI models, and you're not, creating your own LLM yet with a llama on Python. But that's,
oh my gosh,
that's to each their own. No,
I understood 4 words, sir.
What you just said to me in Power World terms, you are breeding a python with a what? A llama?
So we're actually at my job. We're actually working on an AI model. So with development, there's this thing called GitHub, which I think we've talked about before.
I have used GitHub actually more than a few times, so I'm not bad.
Oh, nice. Okay, so there's these things called pull requests that need to happen in order to like update a repository for whatever needed for whatever the code's for. And we're creating an AI model where essentially it'll just go through your entire PR and be like, oh, you need to change this. Oh, this isn't up to standard. This is good, kind of thing. And so like that's been a lot of fun. And it's not just like using an OpenAI API key, which is what a lot of these apps do.
Yeah.
They just kind of take OpenAI's work and just kind of refactor it and do it themselves. But the one that you should be paying attention to is what Google is doing. Google Gemini, I believe, is what it's called. Let me look. Google Gemini is probably coming out later this year, but they have Nano, Pro, and Ultra. They kind of lied in their demo, but if it does what it's supposed to do, which is wild, you should look into the demo. You could essentially take your write something down and have it be like a squiggle and be like, hey, G, I'm not going to say it to trigger anybody. What is this? What is this picture? And it'll be like, oh, this looks like you're trying to draw an elephant. Is that what you were trying to do? And it like guesses it pretty accurately.
Cool.
And so right now, a lot of the AI models we have are pretty restrictive to text and image based, but a lot of them are going to become a lot more multimodal, where you'll be able to kind of like feed it instructions, get kind of updates with it. You should check out at CES. There was a new device that came out, and they're kind of heralding it as like the new Apple product, and I think that's such a stupid thing. But it's called Rabbit AI, and it's a little handheld pocket device that doesn't have like an interactive screen. It's just a voice like command phone, and you can be like, hey, like just give me an Uber, I need to go home, and it'll kind of do everything for you and then order it for you. And like they showed all these examples, and they were like one of the first companies in like history to raise a ton of money in like 3 months, and they demoed it at CES. So there's a lot of big things coming out outside of just image and text based prompts. So it's gonna be the next like really, really, really fun thing. And then I obviously want to see how it integrates with blockchain, because I think from a data perspective, that's where it gets really fun, because boy, this is going to be a rabbit hole, but I'll just keep it quick. The issue
Oh,
with
that's what
AI
this
right
is?
now is it, yeah, I know, right? The issue with AI is you can't really concern what's real and what's fake, right? And it's
Yeah.
hard to look at the metadata structures and be like, this is a verifiable,
Mhm.
true thing or fake thing. And
Oh,
I think there's a
blockchain.
use case where, yeah, blockchains,
Mm.
immutability and data
Oh,
structures can really be like, no, this is real, this one
this
is fake,
isn't.
and you can never change it after that point.
Oh, that's a really
That
interesting pairing that I've
Wow.
never thought about, how, like, how blockchain could be the answer to how do we
well
verify
Determine
AI.
what's real or not
Yeah,
on AI.
Unfortunately, when a lot of people hear blockchain, they just think crypto
yeah.
and money and scams, but there's
Thanks.
a
Sure.
whole
Thanks,
nother
Sam.
aspect of it that's data related,
Oh, that's where it came
which
from.
is,
They knew that
yeah,
first, and then
Yeah.
they were like, "Let's do it with money first." Like, it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
just
The
libertarians
blockchain
going,
came first.
"Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
From what I
Well,
understand, anyway.
technically speaking, Bitcoin came first,
yeah."
and the whole premise of Bitcoin was a
Oh,
global currency that wasn't restricted.
yeah.
And from that came Ethereum, which was like, hey, what if we actually build things on top of this infrastructure? And that's
Yeah.
where all of these like things have blown off from. But anyways, the point
Hmm.
being is, I can't wait to see those two intersect, because it'll make the verification of something that's actually real immutable, and something that we can actually trust, especially with the political season coming up. I think that is, you're going to see a lot of issues with AI, in the next, I
Mm-hmm.
think 6 to 7 months, where
Dude, it is
people are
exploded.
taking, yeah, Biden and Trump and whoever's in the race, and they'll probably spin up a bunch of AI things that just no one knows if it's real or not, and it's going
I
to
Yeah.
wonder
persuade
which one's
voters.
going to do more
Yeah.
lying and
Mm,
grifting. I don't know. I don't know if he has the people who can
hard to
do it though.
tell.
Who knows? But let's be completely honest here. The two people on the planet who know least about any of this stuff is Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So,
Oh,
it's
true. Sure.
yeah, it's just which one has the worst person, which it's pretty easy to guess which one's going to have the worst person. So, anyway, this is now our AI predictions and political podcast. Welcome in
Yeah.
with
It
Lord of the
always
Rings
comes back
edition.
to AI.
I think, guys, and I've been toying around with this idea, and I think we just locked it in, and we're gonna do it live here on the pod. I'm gonna ask you. I
Mm,
think that we should record this every week, this little part at the front of the show, and then like
hmm
do a little Patreon show with our AI or with our tech stuff, because we talk about it every week,
Ah.
but we like to talk longer usually. And if we do a little half an
Yeah.
hour guy, it can be its own thing. We can just check in and do the movie on the main show. What do you guys think? I don't know. What do you think, listeners? Would you participate for that? Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
not. But
I like it.
why not? It seems like it could be fun. We like doing it. So I'm
Absolutely.
good. I'll be as quick as possible before I get us into the movie.
Oh, boy.
I have a couple new little obsessions this week too. And Paul, I might need to show you a video of this later, or well, PM2, but you
Oh,
guys
man.
later. I got two new pieces of toy, and I'm in my toy era, living my best toy life. I got something called the Hover X1. Do you know what the Hover X1 is, Paul?
No.
It is a
Hover X1.
handheld drone
Oh, yes. I
with
have
no
seen this.
controller, that it is
Oh,
completely
my.
controlled by you with gestures.
Self-flying camera.
And it is, dude, it'll
Oh,
follow. You can go on a
man.
run, it'll just follow behind you for like a half an hour.
I mean, I can't imagine running for that long, but that
Well,
is amazing.
that walk we had, we would have had a drone just walking behind us on the trail, like literally the whole time.
That's cool though.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
That'd have been sick.
I've seen the videos of people using it in real life. It's nuts.
Mhm.
It's got hover mode where you can it's like on a tripod. It's just holding steady, and you're just talking to it. It's got
That's
orbit mode where
cool.
it does a full 360 of you and then stops. Dude, it's so cool. And then you just put your hand below it and it lands in your hand. It's
That's
So
cool.
like it
That is
works
cool.
flawlessly. It's rated high. Dude, I love it. I haven't made anything with it yet, but I want to like show off my fit with the orbit. I think that would be a good first step. I don't
Ooh.
know. We're gonna make stuff with it, and I'm excited about that. It's got a 1080. It's got a good quality camera. It's not like insane cam, but it's a good quality camera, and does HD. I think it does 4K, but the thing is the battery life. The batteries last like 40 minutes. So, but it comes with. I got the bonus pack that was $40 more, and it's 3 batteries. You can just keep swapping them out.
Nice.
They charge fast. So it's cool. That was one obsession I have, and then the other one is called a plod box, PALUD, and it is a little piece of hardware, and it is an AI little AI transcriber, super strong, really like knows hundreds of languages, cadences and stuff. So it's just like built specifically for voice recognition, and then it has an output on the back end, so you can like plug it in your PC, and then you have meetings, you record anything, it transcribes it, and then you can set how you want it to be. You can use it to basically take notes in meetings in the exact way you want it to take notes, and I suck at it. So I was like, I'm gonna. It's a Kickstarter. They're just started shipping. I'm gonna try it out. I haven't received it yet, but that sounds like something that I like. I just don't want to. I don't want to touch anything and just have notes be done when I'm done a meeting. Like because I just forget constantly. So,
dude, this could be big for like students as well.
Huge for students. I mean, that's what they're kind of marketing it to. But like there's no like searching. It's just all it does is it's a pass through, and it's super powerful because there's a lot of digital services and stuff, and it depends on your camera or on your stuff. This thing runs anything through your audio. And the poor audio can really get it too. I mean, it did a bunch of stress testing. I don't know. It looks like something exactly that I need, and I'm transcribing stuff all the time. So I don't know if you want to write like a script for something too. You can like a YouTube script and you're talking it out. It'll just write it for you, like that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I think that's awesome, especially because I type 30 words a minute. So those are my 2 things. I'll let you know. The hover thing, I already tested it. It's sick. The plod looks cool too. So I got 2 cool things, and maybe we'll check in and do a video or something.
See how those ended up.
And then in our first bonus episode, we'll unveil our reviews. I love this.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. And we don't have to record additionally. Isn't that great, listeners? Thank you so much for all your empathy. Hello. Have you ever wondered how I stayed awake for all of those 9-inning baseball games throughout my career? Well, I'm about to share the secret. Focus Fuel. Focus Fuel is a caffeinated energy gummy that comes in 3 delicious candy flavors. It's got a bunch of great stuff besides the caffeine that smooths out the energy level and prevents the crash later. If you're one of those people that doesn't like to have a shaker bottle with you all the time, have to have powders and spilling it everywhere, and you can't find the scoop, now you can just have a gummy, 50 milligrams per piece, and control your dose that way. You can take them anywhere that liquids aren't allowed, airplanes, concerts, to keep that energy level going. Use my code, BASEBALL, for 10% off your first order at checkout at focusfuel.com. Now, back to the show. Because this movie is, without being extended version, 3 hours and 18 minutes long.
Yeah.
Let's get in to the show. I love Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. It was released in 2001. I think I was just about to turn 30. I just turned 12, actually. I remember it was like it was like a week after my birthday. Yeah. So fantasy adventure, I would say epic fantasy in the way that no one has done before or since. Because I don't know how you do this in live action again. It's insane. The production budget for the Fellowship of the Ring was approximately $93 million, which is less than The Emperor's New Groove.
Isn't that wild?
Wild.
That's crazy to me.
If you watch the documentary on how this thing was made, dude, the things these people did to get the shots was insane. We'll get into it. But the movie grossed a measly $871 million worldwide. In its initial theatrical run, is obviously made a lot of money since.
Oh yeah,
critical acclaim obviously has won a bunch of awards. Fellowship of the Ring won several Academy Awards, including Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, and Best Visual Effects. It received a total of 13 Oscar nominations, and that's just the first one.
Oh my god!
I think across all of them, they got like 41. Which,
oh wow,
41 for 3 movies in a trilogy to all like almost sweep the Oscars every time is It's astounding.
I don't know if that's been done.
No, not even close. Has there even been another good trilogy ever?
Not really.
Rocky? Is Rocky 3 even good? I don't even remember because Rocky 4 is so good. So
The Matrix, but I don't think they did anything at the Oscars.
Harry Potter, maybe. Harry Potter. Yeah, no, Harry Potter had a lot of movies. Grossed over, but they also had 8 movies. So
yeah,
that's a different thing. Anyway, the really quick the cast, and it's so funny. It's separated into like the Fellowship, everyone around the Fellowship. But we have Elijah Wood, Frodo, Sean Astin. Oh God, I love you. Samwise, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, Orlando Bloom as Legolas. This is pre Pirates of the Caribbean, so this is Orlando's big thing. John Rhys Davies is Gimli. Rest in peace. Sean Bean and he passed away actually the last couple of years. Sean Bean is Boromir, also known as young Ned Stark.
Yes.
Billy Boyd, Pippin, Dominique Monaghan as Mary, and Kate Blanchett, Hugo Weaving, Liv Tyler, Ian Holmes. Like the cast is crazy.
Lee. Ian McKellen. Gandalf.
Ian McKellen is Gandalf. Like, come on. I posed a question to Kate. Hey, do you think this is Ian McKellen's? Is he known for this more or Magneto? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all right, not that type of nerd. Got it.
What are you talking about? Got it.
Get it. We got It's Peter Jackson, written by Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Peter Jackson. They did. Oh God, I just love them. Cinematography. Where was it? Oh, and the music. I want to get to the music real quick. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It was by the music score was by Howard Shore, but the original songs were from Enya, Fran Welsh, and Howard Shore. So Howard made it, but they had a bunch of Enya. So all that elven forest music, you're like, this sounds like Enya. Well, that is Enya because only Enya does that.
There you go.
So
I didn't know that, actually. That's really interesting that Enya was a part of that.
Yeah, it's got Enya vibes. By the way, we need more Enya. Where are you at? Can the young Enya come? I love Enya, man. Get me in the. I'll sit here and make thumbnails all day to Enya. I'm gonna do that today. I love Enya. It reminds me of good days at school when I actually got work done. Cool. So let's break this thing down. Let's do it really quick. And PM, feel free to pop in if you would like for this. We're guessing the ratings, and we'll do it really quick. We got Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and Letterboxd for the Fellowship of the Ring. Rotten Tomatoes, you can give both scores if you want to try to get a little bit of more sauce in there, but we're usually looking for the audience. So just a reminder, out of 100, out of 10, and out of 5. Paul.
I'm going to do Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to give the audience score a 92. I'm going to give the audience score an 88. I'm going to give the critic score a 92. I'm going to give IMDb an 8, 8.5. And I'm going to give Letterboxd a 4. I think people love this movie.
Very good.
But I could be totally wrong.
Very good.
What's the letterbox again? 5? Is it 5?
Out of 5.
Yes.
Out of 5. Okay. Even though I don't like this movie or this trilogy,
unbelievable.
I know, right? And we'll get into it. But
I thought it was a joke. I thought that was a joke earlier. By the way.
I'll explain it in a bit. But I'm gonna give the audience rating. I'm gonna say 98. I'm gonna say it's a really highly rated movie just because people love it. I'm gonna give the critics. I'm gonna give that a 90. I think that's just something that was really good at the time, but I think a lot of people were like, this is still nerdy. Like, come on now. And so they were like, whatever. What was the other one than Letterboxd? IMDb, right? Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. And then Letterboxd, I'll also do like a 4.5. I think this is it's a big movie. People love it. Like, I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. So I think it's a very, very highly rated movie, and the awards speak for itself. So I think a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Only makes sense that you would hate it. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. You played basketball in high school. I get it. So the actual scores, Rotten Tomatoes, the audience was 95.
Dang.
Which is not surprising at all. I thought it was 95 or more. Actually, to be honest, that's slightly low in my opinion for how many people love it. That watched it anyways. And then there's Rotten Tomatoes. It was a 91 from the critics. So the critics really loved it too. But you got to remember, when it first came out, a lot of the stuff they were doing was literally revolutionary. The shots, the cinematography, it holds up
Yeah.
still. Like, it's cheesy at
Mhm.
times. There's parts where, like, yeah, you couldn't pull that off very well with the
Yeah.
technology at the time, but most of it, I'm like, dude, this is still so, like, I don't know how they did this. Um, IMDb 8.8. It's like
Mm.
a top, I think it's a
Dang.
top 50,
Okay.
and it's below the other 2. Um, and Letterboxd was a 4.4, which is that's high praise. That's
Whoa.
really high praise on Letterboxd. Like
Dang.
4.5, 4.5
I
's
don't want to
crazy.
I don't want to like brag, but I'm pretty sure I was like 1 to 2 numbers off for
You
each
did
one.
crush it, yeah. Your
Yeah.
cynical
I don't wanna
brain,
brag.
hit
Yeah.
those numbers really, really
Yeah.
well.
Nicely done,
I just
PM.
feel like this is
Great
one
work.
of the movies that a lot of it's like the one where the critics and the people kind of get along with it. Like it's
Yeah.
one of those very sacred moments.
Yeah, agreed.
Um
Speaking of sacred moments, that's a wonderful segue. Thank you for that. Oop, haha. Another segue to call back to the basketball. This movie, does it spark any specific memories? And I cannot wait. We're going to end with UPM though, because I want to. I need
Oh,
you to end
switching it
it.
up.
Yeah,
Switching
I
up
want to
the
end it on
okay.
your negatives. Mine though,
that's
I'm going
fine.
to take this one first because
Okay, you
it
go
was
ahead.
a week after my birthday. I literally think I should look this up. I'm going to try to guess before I look it up though. I think it was September 30th, 2001. So when it came out, that feels right. I could be
Oh,
mixing up
okay.
one of the movies or somewhere around there. It might have been November though. Wasn't it close to Christmas? Never mind. That's a lie. This was like these were December
I'm sure it
releases.
was November.
These were
That's when
like
they
December
released all those
22nd every
big.
single time, that Friday before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I might be just making that up. Anyway, I'd just been 12. I went with 6 of my friends and
Oh,
my older brother to this
December
movie.
19th.
December 19th. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's
Christmas
got
Day.
it. That's the biggest movie release day of the year. It is
Mm.
changing a little bit now, but it's around Thanksgiving now. To this day, it's the best movie going experience I've ever had. So I remember being crazy into it. I hadn't
Whoa.
read it yet because it was still kind of up like big for me for being 12. My brother loved it though, and he was 18 at the time. So he took us,
Mm.
and my brother took 6 of my friends, 12-year-olds. He took 7 12-year-olds to Lord of the Rings because he loved it so much. He's like, you guys are gonna love this.
Whoa.
And he hyped, dude. I got fired up. He's like, dude, there's dragons. And I had read The Hobbit, so I was like, oh. He's like, it's before that though, or it's after that. It's the big thing. I'm like, oh. So we went. I remember being just so fired up, and I went in, and it was not since have I had my expectations exceeded like that after being excited. I was like, I
Wow.
remember just my mouth just whoa, and the movie just kept going, and I just kept wanting it to go. I'm like, just a little bit more, and then the ended.
Mhm.
I was like, what? It's over already? They're like, dude, it's 3.5 hours later,
Yeah. We've been here for a while.
and I was
Yeah.
just locked in. So I remember walking out and just looking at my friends, and they were just like, dude. I'm like, that just changed our. I didn't say this, but that just changed our lives, and it did. Here we are.
Yes.
I'm looking at an
Yeah,
Isengard
that's
print on my wall now.
wow. That's that's a really cool memory.
Yeah, it was great. The popcorn tasted really good that day. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course it did. Everything tastes better that day.
Paul, what do you got? Do you
My
got any
gosh.
specific, any special
Uh
moment where you
I
realize you're like, I
don't
like this?
actually no I don't know if I don't remember watching in the movie theater. I'm sure I would. If I did, I'm sure I would have remembered, so I don't think I actually ever watched it in the movie theaters. I didn't go to them that often when I was 11. Um But I do remember my brother would always get every year it came out, he got like the hardcover box
Ooh,
multi like I think it was HD DVD, maybe it was Blu-ray, like box set of it. And it was like an old book
that's the
every
one I have.
Christmas. So yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I have.
So we had those. And I remember we had a tradition, we would watch it every year, the subsequent ones that would come out. So I have memories of it being Christmas time and just this amazing epic and being glued to the TV, like not even looking away. Like I didn't even want a snack. I was just like, let me just watch this. And the the music
The
of the
music.
opening scene and all the music, I mean, that movie is outstanding, but you cannot have an outstanding movie without outstanding music. And it nails all the notes for me in that way. So like even the beginning opening scene with Gladriel explaining everything, and it's like like that whole it just felt very it was the only thing at that time I felt that really captured the genre of fantasy, high fantasy.
Yeah.
There was no high fantasy things that at least I was aware of at that time, other than like, the never ending story or that kind of like kid stuff.
Yeah, like storybook fantasy, yeah.
Story, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I have a lot of Christmas memories watching with my brother. Yeah. Those are my-
Christmas. It is. It feels like a Christmas movie because of when it was released.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ooh, can't wait to hear PMs. Eesh.
You're making it seem like I'm
PM.
gonna shit all over this movie. I'm not.
I think
gonna
you're
do
gonna
that.
love this movie.
Like,
You
I
crap on
respect
it,
this
crap on
movie
it.
and this trilogy. Obviously, like a lot of people enjoy it. I just
Yeah.
think it was because when was the release that you said 2001, right?
2001. Yep.
Yeah, I was 9, and like I think at that time I was still involved in Pokemon. I was still involved in other things, and I never went to go see it in theaters. I never cared to go see it, and Harry Potter was bigger. It just for me.
Oh yeah, I see
It was
that.
it was a much bigger deal to Harry. Like the Harry Potter books were gigantic when I was like
Yes, they
just
were.
learning about how to actually like read something that wasn't just like
It was the
it's a
perfect
cartoon
chapter book for you to
Yeah.
continue up. Yeah.
And so I never gravitated towards Lord of the Rings, and I tried me and my wife tried I think a year and a half ago to be like, okay, let's start with the Hobbit series because we wanted to go
Lord,
like
so bad.
sequential like through the time, right? Like we wanted to like kind of follow it like you would a Marvel if you're watching it for the
I
first
wish
time,
you would have
right?
asked for help. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and I like what's his name, the main actor in that. I'm blanking on his name.
Cumberbatch or
my God,
so he's small.
Who played
No.
Bilbo?
Swag. Bilbo, yeah.
yeah, he's in Marvel
Fargo.
too.
He's in all kinds of stuff, yeah.
He's in the Sherlock Holmes that I love a lot. Which, by the way, fantastic show with Benedict
Martin
Cumberbatch
Freeman.
and him. Martin Freeman,
yeah.
yes. No, I just remember sitting there and just watching it and being like, this is so fucking boring. Like,
You're
I
right,
don't
though. They are boring. The
I
Hobbits
don't
are.
know what's going on.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe these just didn't do too well. Like, I know the first Lord of the Rings is going to be good. Like, I've been told this. And so we go ahead and play it. And I think halfway through it, I stopped and I was like, I don't care. I was like, I just don't. I don't care. Like they're gonna end up in this place. The mountain's there. There's an eye for some reason, and there's a ring. Like okay, like I was just like
Yeah,
this.
those
This is
callbacks don't-
stupid to me.
Yeah.
And she
Man.
like my wife sat there and she was just like, yeah, like I don't really want to watch this anymore. And I'm like, yeah, like I think we tried. We're good. And we just
Wow,
kind of moved
okay.
on from it. And
Okay.
that was the last time I ever attempted to watch it. But that doesn't mean I don't like hate it per se. I just don't think it's meant for me. I like
Wait.
so we watch Harry Potters every year. Like we rewatch them in order like it's the first time, and we absolutely love them. So I think I think it's a classic case of like the Twilight. You're either Team Jacob or Team whoever
Yeah.
else, right?
Wait,
I'm
are
just
you
team
saying
whoever else.
Are you saying you still haven't seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
No, I haven't. Like I'm telling you, like we tried the first one and it
Like the Fellowship
and
or the
I just
Hobbit?
the Fellowship, like the
Oh,
actual
okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. They got to get to it.
Mhm.
Yeah. You let me guess. You turned it off like right when they left.
Yeah, it was just long, and I was just like,
right
oh my
when
God,
the adventure
like,
starts, he's like, nah. I have to.
It was.
They take the first
It
step
was just.
and click.
Also, I think growing up, my dad. So like, I don't know if your guys' like parents had an influence in this, but he was a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when I was growing up, that was when they did the next 3. That was like a huge deal to him. And so
yeah,
for us, it was all about Star Wars.
Okay.
So like I had Harry Potter and Star Wars. I didn't really like I couldn't fit Lord of the Rings into my 11-year-old, time frame. It just wasn't happening there.
Okay.
So
Yeah. To be honest, it just
didn't catch me.
It wasn't really on my radar until the movie anyway, because I was just like, yeah, I know of it, but I know it's like I'm going to read this in high school probably.
Yeah.
Like, let's just put it this way. These books are like 1,000 pages each. There's 3 of them. So we put 3,000 pages into 10 hours of like 12 hours of movies with the director's cuts. And then they took The Hobbit, which is 400 pages, and then made 3 3-hour movies about it. So like,
Yeah.
What
They
are you doing?
stretched
They
that
made a bunch of like one of the
so
main guys in The
thin.
Hobbit is like not
You
real. He's not a real bad guy.
you know
They made him
what?
up, which
Yeah, they
sucks.
made him
You
up.
know what it is? I am just now realizing this. You know why I couldn't stand it rewatching it now?
Why?
Because I love Game of Thrones. And I
Mhm.
love the Game of Thrones universe. And I think coming
Mhm.
from Game of Thrones, where it's way more vulgar, violent, action
Mhm.
packed,
Yeah.
I think better lore and better story, to watch something that's almost more of a Disney-fied version of it, I'm just like, this is so annoying. Like,
You just
I
haven't.
don't
The
want to
fact that you've
watch
never
this.
seen the battles of Helm's Deep is just like it's the best battle scene
It's
ever.
yeah, it's a little
No,
upsetting.
I'm sure it is, but
Yeah.
You should just
I
watch
just think
pieces.
I'm
I'm gonna send you
I just
5
think
to
I
10
missed
minute
the boat
videos
on it.
slowly over time.
Yeah.
And you get
It's kind of like, yeah, it's weird because I hear what you're saying, PM, and like I totally understand. I feel like your case is more of a case of circumstance than anything
Circumstance.
else.
Yeah, I do.
But
Yeah.
it's a little like me and Trevor are like, man, aren't sunrises great? And you're like, well, I had a stomach bug the first time I saw a sunrise,
Well,
and I shit all over the place. Like I just
But-
had this
No, like,
awful
But
experience.
that-
My wife left
wouldn't-
me during a sunrise, and so now
kids left me, wife left me.
yeah, I hate them. And I'm like, okay,
No, I don't think it was a horrible experience. It would just be like you guys saying, "Oh yeah, I love sunrises," and me being like, "Yeah, I never got to experience them because growing up we would always wake up at like 11 a.m."
yeah,
You know,
Yeah, okay,
And
well,
so
you
like
kinda
I,
miss
it.
I never got to experience it for
Mhm.
what it was, and I think I do think if you throw in the Game of Thrones, which was a huge thing for me for the last like decade when it was at its
Yeah.
peak, I just didn't want to watch a Disney-fied version of it, which is I think fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanted to see people's heads roll, and I wanted to see terrible things happen on screen, and
Okay.
America.
yeah, I think that's just what Game of Thrones did, and it's kind of hard, to
Yeah.
bounce
I
back
wanted
from
to
that
see
once you
terrible
enjoy
things.
that.
I mean,
I know, right? Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's not like Lord of the
gosh.
Rings is the entire basis for that game. Lord of the,
Yeah,
Game of
yeah,
Thrones,
it's
but-
No,
not.
and that's the thing. Like,
No,
yeah,
of course.
I'm fully aware of that. Just like Dune, Dune's coming out, right? And
Yeah,
Holly bought us
yeah.
tickets for Dune 2, and I keep thinking like this is just like a knockoff Star Wars, even though
Star
Dune
Wars is
came
based on
first,
Dune.
and I know that. Yeah. So
Oh, Dune's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dune's better than any. Like the first Dune movie is better. I know Paul's a huge Star Wars guy.
We
but
should
like,
make
it's
that the
better
next
than
movie.
Star Wars movies. It just is, top to bottom.
there we go. Next movie.
But again, it's what you're
There it
looking
is.
for, right? It's what you're looking for.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
What are you looking for? John Favreau, like the little slide cuts? Or are you looking for like an Andor type? You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of stuff out
Yeah.
now. So I like Andor's type stuff. So Dune appeals to me.
Yes.
So, but yeah, all that valid, man. I totally understand. Moving on to who we mentioned it before, but moving on to the Vivian Award rating Vivian Ward rating for the opening scene. How good is the opening scene, Paul?
Mhm.
What are you giving it?
Bro, this is a Vivian, man.
It's a
I
Vivian.
don't.
It is.
It's a Vivian. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, I think the intro speaks for itself, man. I mean, the intro is about it feels like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Of exposition, which is fine. I could listen to that woman speak into my ears
great.
for 100 years. I could just tell me anything, tell me what I'm doing in the morning, to narrate my life. So I thought it was great. The music also was fantastic. You know exactly what you're getting into. You meet all the major characters. That sets the stage, and then you immediately meet the main character. You immediately meet one of the supporting characters who matter the most, and instantly. I mean,
Ye-
you could say the first 40 minutes to an hour is the opening scene
Yeah.
for this movie.
The entire Shire.
There's the whole Shire part is the intro. So I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the voiceover work, but yeah, I think it's a Vivian for me.
I agree. Vivian intro monologue. Kate Blanchett, who is just, and I think she's proven it over and over and over and over and over her whole career since this point. Just incredible monologue. It's super like mysterious. One thing they do in this movie that I noticed and really internalized for the first time is they deliver so many lines like in a whispery, like under your voice, like ominous kind of like trying to keep your voice down so you're not heard way, and they just crank up the volume so it's really like percussive and punchy, and it's It just and then they
Oh.
reverb it to make it feel all ethereal a lot, and it's awesome. Like, dude, I'm like the vibe, and then you have the Enya going, oh, like in the back, and it was just like, dude, like chills. Nothing had come up on the screen yet. It was like the music started playing. She started talking. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Shut up, everybody, and nobody's speaking. All right,
Yeah.
like,
You know what's good? Because literally I forgot that there's a solid like 10 seconds of black screen. You see, there's nothing on the screen. It's just her talking. I was like, did my video freeze? I forgot. And then it's like, boom, intro text or title text that comes up. The Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
I'm like, oh.
Her voice carries it through darkness. It was that good.
Oh, and then I think they set the tone, so like they gave us the backstory in a really good, concise, like well produced way. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he's bad, these guys are good. Elves
Yeah.
live a long time,
Oh, and they are
and
jam packing.
humans suck. White
so
human
much.
dudes suck. Surprise!
It's like 9 humans. They all suck.
Yeah, all the humans suck,
bad.
which they should, and he was right. I think Tolkien was an allegory for the British Empire at the time. That's literally conjecture. I have no idea, but that's when he lived. So I like to think he hated the British Empire. PM, do you remember it? You don't have to. You just be like, nope, and then we'll move on.
No, I did not partake in this movie, unfortunately.
It was so good. All right. We'll move forward with that in mind. Okay, so we literally have an award named after the scene from the second movie. The Ents attack Isengard award for best scene, but the best scene in this movie, for me, is or one of the best scenes in this movie is in Moria, right before they're going to be attacked when Pippin knocks the thing down the well. And it just crashes slowly.
Come on.
It crashes slowly, and then you hear the drums building. Yes. I'm like, yes, Legolas, get your arrows out that you seemingly never run out of. Please. Please get them out. I need you to fire 75 arrows in this fight, and then we'll shoot to you again. You got 8 back there still. He's elf.
Oh.
I don't know. Dude, that part got me. And also really tense. And then I thought the scene when they first find the Black Riders, they first encounter them, and they're like, get off the road, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, when it shows the road down that kind of covered road area,
the dolly zoom,
zoom, dude, that's the best dolly zoom in history, in my opinion. That or the Jaws one.
Yes.
When he sees the shark for the first time. Those are the two best. I'm like, I watched it like 3 times. Like, dude, this is it's zooming away. The farthest is zooming into us, and how is perfect. How'd they do this?
Yeah.
And the wind must have picked up perfectly too. Like, I don't know. But it was so good. And
it was
like, oh no. I immediately thought, I was like, this is so clever. So those were my 2 favorites from this one. Just because it was like, I don't know, the tension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, immediate tension. Like, we're in the Shire, the pipe flute playing the whole time, and then it's like, and dolly zoom, and you're like, oh god. So those are mine. Paul,
okay, I love that. I feel like full disclosure, I told the guys this earlier before we started the episode, but I was not able to watch the entire movie. I watched about half of it, and we had some health issues in the family, so I wasn't able to fully watch it. But I've watched it a lot of times and do remember a good amount of it. I do love that scene when the troll comes in to Moria. That is outstanding. I will give you that. That's lovely. I loved the entire Shire scene because it made me want to live in that world, and it made me want to like visit that area. Like, if there's ever a Universal or Disney or a type thing where they're like, oh, we made a Hobbit, like the Shire, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there immediately. I'm going through the houses. I'm grabbing some mead. Like, I want that real bad. So
Paul,
I actually love that
set,
whole
dude. I'm in. Let's go to New Zealand. Let's go to
the set.
I'm gonna go someday. I'm gonna make it there.
I would love to go to New Zealand. That's a place I would go. Australia, no. That place can
no.
Yeah, absolutely not. New Zealand, yes. And you're right. And that would then include as well. I mean, the whole Shire scene, and the whole first half of the movie. And you're right that something about when the Wraith because you're like, okay, they hide underneath the tree. They're looking at the mushrooms, and like obviously, Mary and Pippin have no idea, they have no context for what's happening.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever, like we got mushrooms, and like they're looking at them, they're kind of fighting, and then like shush them. And something about the physical action of that actor, whoever was playing the Wraith, to like lean over the roots and like both hands come down, like
Oh.
boom, boom, like he's just like over them. I was like, oh shit,
Dude.
it was it elicited like a level of fear for that thing, that was really good. I loved that motion that guy took, and then all the insects crawl out.
The
Like,
Indiana Jones, like it's very there's a lot of Spielbergian things. You can tell Peter Jackson loves Steven Spielberg. Like when you're in the when you
Yeah.
need to be quiet and a bunch of creepy crawlies start crawling on you.
oh,
Great.
I'm dead immediately, bro.
Yeah,
The minute that spider comes out of my shoulder, I'm like,
Yeah, Pippin
Like,
looks over.
yeah.
The spider is the
Yeah.
tarantula.
yeah,
like, I'm
exactly, with
good.
the biggest mandibles I've ever seen. Like,
I'm good. That won't bite me. Those are nice. I know those things.
yeah,
What?
I'm dead to the Wraith in a heartbeat.
Uh,
So, but yeah, the whole
Oh.
first scene, the Shire scene, loved it, man.
Ooh, that let me. I'm gonna pop that just a detail in there too that I think that gets the point across for these how scary these things are, which not being,
Okay.
but it's not a main point of the shot. It pans really quickly on the horse's face, and like right in the corner of the screen, you can see his eyes are glowing
Yeah.
red, just like.
Oh,
But it doesn't
I don't know
focus
if I
on it at
noticed
all.
that.
It just wants you to like get the impression that it's a hell horse, but like not make
Yes.
that a make that a like it's not something you're consciously seeing. So I noticed it. I was like, oh, that actually makes it scarier.
That's
That
cool.
doesn't just like look like a horse. It looks like a horse from like an inhuman, like an unreal, unnatural horse. Which kind of brought the
That's
whole thing.
cool.
And then the way they screech, man.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
the
the
screech is
sound
great.
design.
Sound design's amazing.
It-
It's just good.
yeah.
It's just good. Well done. Just really well done.
We're fans.
We're big fans. And rewatching, I was trying to be really critical. I mean, there's a couple really goofy little cuts, but most of it's so great. What about
Yeah.
characters, dude? For you,
Characters for me, I mean, the obvious Mary and Pippin. I love them. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the comedic value they bring to it. I really like Gandalf as well. I think he's a great character. He's probably my favorite to watch. Like whenever he's in a
Yeah.
scene, I'm like, even though I know I've seen the movie, I'm like, what's he gonna do? Like he
Yeah.
could do some crazy wizard stuff. You know what I mean? Like it could be any moment. He could just like cause some sparks out of his hands, or like, and how it's subtle wizardry. It's not like he's casting a fireball spell, and it's like for instance, Bilbo puts on the ring for the first time at his birthday party, and he sneaks up into his house,
yeah.
and Gandalf's just there waiting for him. Like he's just already in there.
But when he gets big
basically
and starts to
teleported.
entertain him, intimidate him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like it's very subtle wizardry, almost like he's this powerful being, but he doesn't have to
Mysterious.
like, yeah, he's not like turning on candles with like flame spells and scrolls. It's just different. So I like Gandalf a lot.
Yeah,
my
he has
favorite.
he
What
has
about
like he seems like he has a respectful relationship with magic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He respects magic.
Like there's some sort of cost that he doesn't mention, but we just infer. That's what good writing is. Like we don't know what he can do, and that's kind of the point. He does that on purpose. So because
yes,
that's a lot of his power. So like they do that, and that's a lot of that. That's why I think Tolkien was such a good writer. He did this, like he was vague on some things that you don't need the detail in. You can kind of fill in the blanks a little bit, and it's better that way. I don't know if he did that on purpose.
Yeah, because he's also not all powerful. I think a really
He's
good
not.
depiction of this is that he is just going to get the fireworks. Like he has them and he goes and gets them
Yeah.
because he needs them to make the sparky sparkle in the sky. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't just throw up his hand and it happens. They're physical objects he has to go get. I think that's a really cool little thing. It's like he still needs fireworks. Like he needs to go get them. He
Yeah.
can't just make them.
That and that everything that seems like magic isn't necessarily magic. Too.
It has a little bit of a practical grounding.
He's like, oh, I can't actually do this, guys.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly,
not.
yeah.
This is not something I even know how to do. I can't do fire. I'm more of a force push guy. I don't.
And when you were a kid, did you not think, why do we not have fireworks like that? Like, what?
I did.
Can we
I want a
create that?
dragon. Is that
I was like, I
possible?
want
Now
a
they
fucking
can with
dragon.
drones, but
True.
yeah, that would have been. Yeah, I was just like and all the kids like yay, and then the grouchy farmer
Yeah.
smiling and then going grouchy again. I love that. I love that
Bro,
scene.
I'm such a sap. I mean, really quick on that, because I know we're getting behind here, but I started to well up at that scene. I was like, you giant sap. Just like the kids being like, oh, Gandalf, fireworks, Gandalf. Oh. And then he sets them off and they just lose their minds excited. I'm like, yeah, like, this kid's
Nothing better than laughter of
fireworks.
children, you know.
Oh, it's like, so beautiful.
that brings it to my favorite characters, those kids. They're in there. Actually, to be honest, I have a list that like I mean I love just about like there's no one. I mean even I even came around on Boromir, and I really did not like Boromir.
Oh yeah,
the first time, and he was the first one that was like I'm like shut up, and then we met his dad, and we're like oh okay,
yeah,
I get it now. Why do you eat like that, weirdo? We'll get in. We might get into that. We're probably never gonna watch. We're probably not going to watch these two movies, the other two, because it's all the same everything. But at least for the show, I'm going to watch them. But my favorite characters in order, and they're kind of in pairs, kind of like you did before. The Gimli Legolas bromance developing in the first one. Now moving forward, they are my favorite. Like their whole dynamic. Gimli,
correct.
He's like the giddy little. You want to hang out, like friend? He turns into that, and that makes me so. I love Gimli. I've always loved. I think because I always thought I'm like if anyone picked anybody in a game or any like if this were dodgeball Gimli, you're picked last. Though you're good. You're really good, and you're the first one running in every time, and you're awesome. So Gimli and Legolas, and then the very end when he's like, we're not going to leave Merry and Pippin to be tortured, and he goes, yes. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, all right, let's watch the second one. Kate's like, it is 11. I'm like, okay, well. And then like they looked at each other though, they like made eye contact. So I'm like, the romance has begun. Let's go. And then we got Gandalf. Same thing. Just there's something about I feel safe when he's on the screen, and also how they filmed him. He's 5'11" in real life. They made him look like he was 6'8" through clever cameras.
Yeah. Dude, that is. I kept looking for it in different scenes and stuff. I was like, that's clever. It is very clever.
Well, he filmed so much of his stuff on his own with no one else in the room on a green screen. And then
I thought that was for Hobbit. I didn't think that was for.
Nope.
For this,
there's like even in the beginning, the table he's sitting at when Frodo's like getting ready to go and walking around the table, it's two different tables. They're separate, and they just use forced perspective and rotate the table as the camera's rotating. It's nuts. It's nuts. You could see the behind the scenes. You're like, dude, how long did this take to plan just for this scene? To this like 30-second scene. That's crazy.
Still cheaper than Emperor's New Groove.
Still no one's drawing every single picture over and over again. I would say, and then it's a tie between like Merry and Pippin, Aragorn, like I love Elrond. He's awesome. And then just like, the rest of the cast, basically, even Gollum. I think, well, God, what's his name too? He's in a bunch of stuff.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn Award for Best Quotes. Paul.
Oh, I mean the whole movie, right? But I'm gonna try to narrow it down to just a couple. I just got three that I love. First one. Now these are not in chronological order. It comes in pints. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I didn't even know what a pint was as a unit of measurement when I was a kid, but I was like, apparently a pint is huge. It's not. It is not huge. Could not be smaller, but to a hobbit, it's gigantic. So I thought that was great. Comes in pints, is fantastic. Of course, the classic, the very first one, Frodo, you're late. Gandalf, a wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to, which I've tried to use as a joke, and no one ever gets it.
Ever.
Very sad.
Never, ever.
Ever.
Such a good line. Never lands. Not a single time has that landed. I've tried to. Ever.
You should have used it on me. I would totally got it. And then Bilbo. Actually, I'm sorry, I have 4. Yeah, Bilbo. I don't know half of you as well as I should like. And I like less than half of you as well as you deserve. And
they all look around confused. I love it.
Yeah, that's the craziest quote ever. And then finally, I think my favorite Lord of the Rings quote of all time: "Keep it secret, keep it safe." I use that all the time. All the time. Keep it secret, keep it safe.
Keep it
Every time. Those are my
So
top quotes.
that's an example of when they cranked up the gain and got him to whisper.
Okay.
And it's super like it's like
yeah.
keep it secret. Keep it like a lot of like the pop that really like
Yeah.
oh like he's spitting almost in your face.
God. Yeah.
And it's and he's like super close to the camera. Like it's just so good, man. It's so good.
He's so close to the camera.
Dude,
yeah.
Ian McClellan killed this movie. Killed it.
Yeah. He gets back and he's like, "Is it secret? Is it safe?" Yeah. Oh man.
Fun little fact
Those are
about
my
that scene too.
Tell me about it.
When he turns and hits his head on the beam. He did that on accident. That was an accident. They rolled with it.
It was really an accident.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, he meant to like try to like dodge it, like or just like maybe bang. He hit it so hard, so like he was closer than he thought he was. He went like then they just went with that, which was great. There's a lot of those little Easter eggs in these movies. It's crazy.
That's so good.
Yeah, I went with one because I knew there's so many I could be here forever. One big one.
Yeah.
He goes, Pettigrew Took, when he knocks the thing into the thing, he goes, "Why don't you just throw yourself in later and save us the save us the
Throw
trouble?
yourself in. Save us
Next
the
time, throw yourself down there next time and save us all the trouble." And I go,
Yeah.
I go that, and I started laughing. I go, "That's so mean." He's like, "Mary, why don't you kill yourself?" Whoa, hey.
It is. It's such a deep burn. Yeah.
It is.
It's save us all the trouble.
Ooh, I have a quick second one too.
Okay.
I also need that. We're all going to start using 11D for 111 from now on too. Like I don't know why that's not the term.
Oh yeah, 11. Yeah,
He's 11th birthday. Perfect. 11D should
111th birthday.
No, they don't even say 100. They say 11th, which is
wait. No, I thought you said 111th birthday.
no 11D. They just say 11D for 111.
Check it. Let's check the tape.
Well, check it. I'll check it. I'll whatever. I might be 111th. Now we're just adding, so we don't need more.
Pause the video. You come in on a green screen, pop it on the side of the video. Like, actually,
Paul
was correct. Or
Paul was
I
correct. My bad. No, I'm not adding another cut to this episode.
Now back to the episode. Yeah.
Now back to the episode. The quote was, "It's so funny." Now I'm blanking what the secondary quote was. If I come up with it, I'll pop it back in. How about that?
Right.
Memorabilia. I was thinking about not keeping this one in. And then I realized that there's so much memorabilia.
There's so much. There's so much.
What?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I mean, God, what don't I want? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the thing. Is really tough. I would say I want the ring. Obviously, I want the ring. I want the necklace that Aragorn wears from Erwin.
Yeah,
I want that necklace. A buddy of mine, I think I said this maybe already in the pod, just gave it to his daughter for Christmas, and I saw it around her neck. I'm like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the most gorgeous necklace ever. I want that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it really short. I'm just gonna say those things. I'm gonna keep it there because there's
the entire costume.
I want everything.
I
want it all. I want Sauron's helmet. Okay, that's it.
We need Sauron's helmet. I need a tiny miniature of Orthanc from Isengard the Tower. I need an entire suit of Uruk-hai armor.
Yep.
That we did see in this movie, and we saw it for the first time at the end there. Because they're so cool. They're just so cool.
Yes.
And bad and cool.
Cool.
But the big thing that I would want, that I would literally put up on my wall, that I might actually get a replica of, is Legolas's bow. Bow is
okay.
A classic elven longbow. I think it's sick. I love it. It's just so the way the costume design for
so much
all the elves was just great. So yeah, or maybe that, or like a Haldir's bow because his is like a little bit different. I no, you don't really notice. I notice these things because I always play the archer guy in the movie or in the game. By the way, there's a phenomenal game on Xbox for this. I don't know if you played it.
I think I did. Yeah, it is
they
great.
came
The
out
Battle
of the
of
game for
Helm's
all
Deep
three.
was outstanding.
Yeah, and it's so fun, and you just all you do is take people out for like so many. You get so many eliminations. I don't know if maybe I'll play it on a stream if I can find it an emulator. Anyway. So and it's funny, neither one of us said the ring, which I feel like that's just
I said the
like
ring. That was actually the first thing I said.
Oh,
that's crazy.
You
that's
just
literally the first thing I said.
Oh, you just threw it out. You threw it out so fast. Obviously the ring's cool.
I was like, well, the ring, obviously. Yeah.
I want the envelope that it was in with the seal.
That envelope is satisfying as hell. That looks like the most rustic envelope. Yeah. All right, we're getting in the weeds.
Yeah, anyway, everything. But the big thing is the bow. I would put it on a little rack and have it in the back. That's something I would actually display in my home. So Peter Jackson, because I know you're listening, just join the Discord and DM me with your address. Or I'll DM you with my address because why would I need your address? So I can come hang out. That's why I need your address.
That's why I can come to your house.
You caught me.
And now we're stalking.
So I was toying around with the category here. I was like recast because there's so many characters that you could talk about. But I don't want to do the trilogy a disservice by even considering anyone but Sean Astin could play Samwise because I didn't mention Samwise in my top characters because he's obviously everyone's favorite. Like, so you don't even include him. You're like, okay, everyone but Sam. Because
Samwise is obviously fantastic. Yes, he is,
and
he's very relatable, and
And now that we've watched Goonies with him in it,
mm-hmm.
and he does a bunch of like heartfelt monologues there. He does some heartfelt monologues in this movie, and more in the next two movies. He does heartfelt monologues in Rudy. He does a heartfelt monologue in Stranger Things.
He does.
So I'm thinking I know what his interviews or what his like auditions are like. Because he's so good at it. You like making you like, you're my best friend. Like you just feel like Sean Astin's your best friend and everything's in.
You just want to hug him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then he got all kind of like older and got a little pudgy. Like, it's the best.
You want to hug him
Sean
more?
Astin.
Yeah.
We love you. I want to meet him someday too. What's your address, Sean Astin? Ooh. Anyway.
What's your address?
So we're not going to do that.
I got really quick. I just thought of a quick quote, and it's real short. It's when I think Pippin says, or maybe Mary, I think it might be Mary, says, crispy bacon. When crispy bacon. Start the fire right before the wraiths surround them. And Frodo's like, you idiots! Like, what are you doing this fire? And just the way I was like, dude, when Frodo stomps it out, I'm like, save the bacon. Like, don't let the bacon.
Dude, he says it's crispy. Didn't you hear him?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you got ash in my tomatoes." I was like, "Oh, thank God, not the bacon." I hope someone ate the bacon on the way to grabbing their sword because it sounded so good.
The whole Weathertop thing too, when they're quietly talking. Frodo wakes up, he's like, "You're gonna give us away," so he goes, "What are you doing? Put it on!" Like he's screaming at the top of his lungs, like, "Dude, wouldn't you whisper? Why are you screaming?" But I did like how they all screech and then they look down and they're all walking through the fog. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's your first like we're gonna have a fight.
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, it was the first roll fight.
Which more we learn about those races, we're like that. How did you even get away? Anyway, so anyway, we're doing tippy top of the mountain, and we did this before. Where we'll talk about a few. Who, if any, would you consider this to be the height of their career, like the tippy top, the pinnacle of their acting career? Because some people we got introduced to Elijah Wood, Orlando Bloom for a lot of people. Even Viggo. Like Viggo was in stuff before, but like this catapulted him. So like. Who do we think possibly this could be the top of the mountain? I mean, I would say it's Viggo's probably top. Hidalgo's not as good as this. That's the only thing I really know him from.
Yep.
What about Bloom?
No, I think Bloom peaked during Pirates for sure. Yeah, I think this set the stage for him in Pirates of the Caribbean because I think he was more heartthrobby in Pirates, and that helped him. I think that was more the top of his career than this. It set him up.
And he's more of a main character. He's still kind of like a minor character in this, technically.
Exactly. But dude, come on. Well, we know who's top. We know who peaked.
Elijah.
100%.
Elijah peaked, but Elijah's had a nice career since. He's kind of like Daniel Radcliffe. Like they're doing stuff. They're still around. They're doing theater and stuff. And they,
I'm not saying he's not doing work. He's
well,
doing
yeah, but
work.
it's Lord of the
I'm
Rings,
happy.
and he was the
But
main
when you see it,
character.
you're like, oh, hey, Frodo's in that.
Yeah, Frodo's in that. Exactly. It's definitely the peak of the mountain for him. What about Sean Astin?
No, Sean Astin did peak here.
What would you say his peak is? Rudy?
He didn't do Rudy after this, did he? No,
No,
Rudy
it
was
was
before
before.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, all right. Yeah, he peaked. He still did work. Like I liked his work in other things. I liked him
he's
in
still
Stranger
great.
Things.
The fact that we're even having this conversation, like with some question marks around it, it means huge things for Sean Astin.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So they've done great work, but I think it probably was his peak as well.
Ian McClellan.
I mean, I think he might be better known for Magneto.
I'd say this is maybe his most iconic. But dude, he's very well known for being the original Magneto, for like not original, but like
very well known for that. And I love his characters.
Were big, man. The original,
they were big.
First 3 X-Men made lots and lots of money. They were a big deal. So
and he was disguised enough as Gandalf where I forgot it was Ian McKellen. I forgot it was Magneto. So those characters are so drastically different, and he nailed both of them so well that I think it wasn't the peak for him personally.
I don't think it's not Sean Beans. I think that's Ned Stark.
Oh,
even
yeah,
if it's for one season. Though
it's one season, right?
Yeah, he was only in it for the first season.
And I did him so dirty.
They did.
I was so sad about
that. Who else is we already got Vigo, Gimli, yes.
Gimli, yeah. Merry and Pippin.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're still like best friends. They do a podcast, dude.
They do?
Yeah. They're awesome. They're awesome.
I wish we had their
funny.
address.
Yeah. Send me your address. I mean, I feel like that covers Elrond. No, not Elrond, dude. He was Agent Smith the same year.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, he was doing it, dude.
He was living his life.
Oh my God. He was like, oh, my movie's made $2 billion this year. What have you guys done?
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought.
Yeah, he was incredible. So no, that was the peak of his. I can't think of anyone. Certainly not Galadriel.
No, not Kate. She crushed it.
Kate Blanchett. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't.
Haldir, yes. I don't even know if I've seen him in anything ever. He looks like he's in Suits or something now. I know he's not Harvey, but he kind of looks like him.
Yeah, Christopher Lee
as Saruman. He's in some stuff, dude. He plays a villain. He plays like is he the like the Russian school headmaster in Harry Potter? Or is that in the fourth one?
No, I don't think so. No.
But the same vibe. But no. I don't. He's in like some 90s like action movies, I think, as a villain. But I would say this is his most known role.
Probably his most iconic, I would say.
Yeah.
He was Count Dooku.
Count Dooku. Oh yeah, he's Count
Dooku.
Yeah.
But again, he's disguised well enough. I totally forgot about that,
dude.
They're two very different characters, even though they're very much the same.
They are. He's Count Dooku. They're very similar. Yeah, that's very true.
Good guys who went bad. I mean, yeah.
I think it covers pretty much everybody. Yeah, bro, that's a lot of tippy. To get like 5 guys, have that be your pinnacle of your career, and like to have this kind of pedigree, like that's probably I don't know. It just it holds up, man. It makes a lot of sense. These people were successful. They crushed it.
That's the downside of having a movie that does so well. Is like you might be permanently attached to that character. Only a few people have been able to break free of that, i.e., Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and that
he's able to break
was not that was not a straightforward, smooth road either.
No.
So he's gone through a lot of stuff to change. So shout out to him. All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Let's give that final rating at the end. I'll start and let you take us home. All right. I would have said I would give it a 9 out of 10 going in. I'm going to give it honestly, the revisit and the noticing little details from a cinematographer, because I'm interested in that. Took it to a 9.2 for me. I took it up just a little bit now that I know technically how much harder it was to do.
Oh, sure.
It's just
Oh gosh.
well executed. I don't the writing, the attention to detail. The attention to detail Jackson and everybody else had, the writers and the
Mhm.
cinematographers and stuff. Like they all committed at a way at a to a point where I don't know if people commit to movies like this like very often. Like Scorsese movies, yeah, at this
Mhm.
point, but like there's very few that are willing to do this much extra little work to make it feel like they did. So
Yeah,
yeah, 9.2.
agreed. That's good. That's high rating. I mean, I think it's tough to separate the movie on its own because it's so tied to the entire story of all three,
Hmm.
and I kind of take them all as a whole. I'm going to try to be more cynical or realistic. I'm going to say that my what I thought of this movie when I first watched it was probably an 8.5. Again, outstanding. Loved the movie. Thought it was great. Now that I know more about the technical, it goes up again as well. Just knowing more about the actors and the writing and the flow of everything, the exposition. I'm gonna give it an 8.7. I think so. It does go up a couple notches for me too. But of the three, I think you're right. This is probably quote unquote the worst of the three. Not that it's bad, but I think that the other two really bring it home. Really bring home the high fantasy and the acting and the story and the lore in a way that the Fellowship just sets up. And that's the point of it. It's a setup. It tells you what's going to happen and it starts the journey. So it gives you a little taste of the journey. But yeah, I it goes up for me too, man. Knowing I like being an adult is great in some ways because you're like, I appreciate the work that was put into this art form and it helps me just enjoy it more. Like I see a dolly zoom and I'm just like, frick yeah, like that was the great choice there for that scene. Or like the physical movements of these actors. I'm like, yes, that was so good. And I know why it's good a little bit more now. Not that I'm not Cisco or Siskel, Ebert, one of them.
Siskel and Ebert, yeah.
Siskel? Yeah, there it is. Not
Yeah.
Cisco. He's the thong song. I'm not him either. But anyway, yeah, 8.5 to 8.7. It goes up a couple for me, technically.
I mean, that's probably as good as we're gonna get for most things. I mean, until we get your version, probably one of the Star Wars movies, for these. So
Yeah.
I think that's great. And then we'll say that PM gave it a good old fashioned negative 28. Bringing the score down below 0. So real quick before we take off, we got to give you your Easter eggs / anecdotes. There's a couple of really good ones here. Viggo
Okay.
Mortensen, playing Aragorn, went to great lengths to immerse himself. So he learned to ride a horse and purchase his character's sword. So he purchased that sword and used it the whole movie. That's his sword that he
That's
bought
cool.
and trained with, which is cool because he swings
Cool.
it like a bat sometimes. Um,
He does, yeah.
like when the guy shoots an arrow at him
That's
and
a
he
good
knocks it
point.
out of the air and it's super wild. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that seemed lucky. But whatever. And then I was like, what would Keanu Reeves look like doing? I'm like, the same. Okay, I like it.
The
It's
exact
cool.
same.
And then the fellowship. So all 9 members of the fellowship, including the actors
Mhm.
who played them, of course, including the actors who played them. What do you mean? That's who it is. But got the word
Uh-huh.
9 tattooed in Elvish on their skin. So all 9
That's
fellowship members have a
cool.
tattoo that they got together because this movie was so good and they had so much fun making it.
Ah,
Isn't
that's
that
so cool.
sick?
I
Um,
love that. Yeah.
and then our last random anecdote, because the thong song was mentioned earlier. Did you know? Did you know that the first chair violin that was the first chair violin for John Williams when he did the Star Wars soundtrack came up with the melody for the thong song and did it for them? Did you know that? How funny is that?
Of course I didn't know that.
That part. He's like, what about this? And just did that. Like, oh, that's sick. And now it's in the song. So there you go. Put that in your
That's a
pipe and smoke it, Gandalf.
crazy. I want some good weed.
Mm. I just want to.
Oh,
That's what I want. Really, I want his pipe. That's what I want.
oh, the pipe. Of course, the pipe. I
The
want to
pipe.
smoke weed out of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the pipe.
weed.
Pipe's where it's at. Yeah, weed.
Oh, surprise, listeners! Here you. So
Yeah.
we're gonna send you out on that. Paul, you want to take us home?
Oh, absolutely.
Park the car.
Absolutely.
Be our
Park the car. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to our 111th episode of, I think it's not. We're 103, 104.
102, actually. 102.
102. Ooh, 2. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We really enjoy doing these reviews or these rewatches, and I hope you guys do them too. I have gotten a couple of requests from people, again, we can talk about this, to actually do a live watching and recording of our reactions to it live, which I think would be a blast as well.
Nice.
I would love to do that. People are actually disappointed when they're like, oh, I thought you guys were going to watch it. And I'm like, oh, no, we just talk about it. So I would love to do that as well. It'd be super fun. But
Dude,
guys, thank you for listening, participating. Thanks for those who have joined the Discord recently as well. We see you. We appreciate you. Some of the things you guys have pointed out as well, I love. Some of the different suggestions that you have been really great. So thank you for doing that. Be sure to join the Discord. It'll be in the description of this episode and all the episodes. Follow us on the social medias. We will tweet out any new things that we're doing. I don't know what's called tweeting anymore. I don't know.
It is.
It's
We're
called
calling tweeting. Don't even worry about changing it.
It's called sending a letter, apparently now. Yeah. So follow us there. Follow the pod. Give us 5 stars wherever you can. Leave a review. We love that. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. We will see you on the next episode or the next pick a flick
or whatever.
Bye, everybody.